there, and strength and conditioning and the position coaches.
Garrett, I've talked to some of the players and coaches on that 85 team, the one where they had to suspend all the players and they had the NCAA probation. You said a lot of those guys have said they're sort of living through you guys to see you guys make this kind of jump to play for a national title. I wonder if a kid like you in some Texas, what that makes you feel like.
Oh, there's a lot of pride in that. I mean, anytime you can, kind of be the team that a lot of these legacies are watching and invested in, I think that's a special thing. So there's definitely a ton of pride when anyone says something like that to me.
I was watching Michigan on film, number 0 for them, Mike Samuelsville. What does he do well? He's not the biggest guy on the field, but how important is he to their defense?
I think he's critical. Active, very active player, can tackle, can cover. Anytime you get a guy like that, it's always going to be I think a key ingredient to your defense when you have someone like that, and I think he's certainly that for them. It's like one of those kind of catalyst players, I feel like.
From Muleshoe, Texas to one win away from playing national championship, what's that mean to you?
It's surreal when you think of it that way. But yeah, a lot of pride, and Muleshoe certainly why I'm here today. There's no doubt about it.
Has there been a lot of support back home?
Yeah, I feel like there has been. I feel like there has been. I think a lot of those people right now are getting in their cars and driving this way and making the road trip like everybody else. So I think it'll be fun for them all.
Max was talking about how Michigan gets a lot of pressure just with the 4-man front. Doesn't even necessarily bring extra guys. With that in mind, what have you seen from them and with their front, and what makes them a difficult position group to deal with?
Yeah, they're active in the interior. I think that's probably the first thing. I think they've got guys that can pass rush from an interior and not just defensive end, out on the edge. So I think that's what makes them very, very well-rounded up front, is they got guys up the middle that can create pressure, and they've certainly got guys on the edge that can apply pressure too.
What does being part of a losing team help you learn as a coach? You've had some bumps.
Oh yeah. I think you learn probably more from losses, right, than wins. And that's why we're in a unique position now of learning from the Big 12 championship and some of the mishaps there, and applying that to the future and to this game. I think it only should help us that you got to learn from some of those things that do happen. You learn from some tough situations at times, and that's what we should all learn from to move forward.
Coach, what would you say your biggest philosophy is as a coach?
Do what our players do well. Pretty simple.
Garrett, before you came here, how much did you know about TCU football?
Honestly, not a lot. I didn't grow up coming to TCU much. Certainly knew of them and kind of always followed them, but just never really came to TCU much. My family didn't come to TCU really, so I just didn't know too much about it. And so when I first got here and we took the job, I was just completely blown away with really everything. Just the way people love TCU football, what it means to Fort Worth, what it truly means to Fort Worth, and the people that surround it. It's very, very special when we first got here.
Did it even surprise you how successful this program has been for the better part of the century? Like that there is a deep-rooted tradition of success.
Yeah, no. Once I got here, there's no surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just where you are and the recruiting bed that you're in, and how nice everything is, and how invested TCU is in football. No surprise.
Yeah.
How much pride comes with TCU being the first team from Texas to get in the playoff, given how many big brands and programs there are in the state?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pride with that. Yeah, anytime Texas is probably thrown into the sentence or conversation, yeah, there's some pride that comes along with that. All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Y'all enjoy it.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.